Yes, thank you everyone for joining tonight and also those from Shah Alam Buddhist Society. This is our fourth session, the last for the moment. Yeah, we believe, I believe we're going to have more sessions coming next year. And let's keep that a secret at the moment. So anyway, today we will continue. I try not to stuff too much information because I did do some reflex after every class. I look at my notes, I'm like, oh my goodness, oh my Buddha, I gave you too many things. Is that right? Anyway, I know that if I were you, I would not even look at my notes after I go home. It's like, when they send me the video link after each lesson, there was one student told me today that, Shifu, it's a good suggestion. When I drive, especially in a traffic jam, I will listen to your talk again. I said, what? You do? I said, I never do listen to myself again. So yeah, you might want to try that if you want to look at some of the notes that we have talked. It's a lot, I know, but it's an introductory. I mean, for some of you, it may be, maybe you have heard of it, maybe you have learned it. But anyway, I'm sure you got questions, problems. Yeah, I really like to discuss. Just like last week, we at the end we have some questions left. Okay, let's start from there. All right. So there was the first one. Okay, Venerable, just a fun little out of the box question. Okay, may I ask what did Buddha meditated? Oh, what did Buddha meditated in 49 days under the Bodhi tree? What did he meditated? Good question. Any idea, anyone? Sorry? Oh, so someone here say that the Buddha shouldn't have any thoughts during the 49 days under Bodhi tree. What else? Or if you're on Zoom, you can just turn on your mic. Everybody can hear you, all right? Don't worry about that. I try to look at both sides at the same time. What else? What did the Buddha think? Or did he have any thoughts at all? Right, as we read from the sutta, yeah, we read from the records that we understand. For the last final days, the Buddha actually he faced few challenges. At first, you know that during the meditation, right, even in the India time, not specifically to Buddhism, there are many Hindus and many shamans. That means that people who go for monastic training, they actually want to achieve the state of dhyana. Dhyana means a state of like, what do you call it in English? A state of deep meditation. It means your thoughts kind of, depends on what kind of thought, yeah? To the very subtle level, even the thought about thoughts disappeared. I mean, you're completely without any kind of thought. You're just steady, your mind just, it can be focused or can be open. So that was a state that most of the meditators were trying to achieve. But for the Buddha, he realized that to achieve even the most highest level of dhyana is not the goal. Like the goal is to see through what is the cause of suffering. So even though we didn't know exactly, for 49 days, what did the Buddha go through? So far I haven't read anything about the Buddha's diary, during the 49 days. I haven't come across to any source like that. So we don't exactly know, but we know that in a source that mentioned the Buddha, he was challenged by the Mara. What's the Mara? Yeah, devil, evil, right? Evil thoughts. But now we know that the meaning of Mara actually doesn't exist externally. It comes from our own mind. So the Buddha was dealing with his own previous karma, right? All those negative karma that came back to disturb and something that he has to overcome. So as far as we know from the sources that we can read, the Buddha, of course, he's achieved the highest dhyana, but he think that is not the main, that cannot make anyone to achieve complete enlightenment. So he keep on digging what was the real cause of suffering, right? And then he went through all those disturbance, and in the end he realized that, oh, the Four Noble Truths, right? That is where the suffering came from. And you talk about the co-dependence, the 12 links, that be this kind of first class. That's all we know about what the Buddha was thinking, right? Hopefully that answer your question. Okay. Anything, just voice out, any doubts, comments. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, this is in Chinese. 不执着算是空吗? That means不执着 is non-attachment. The question is non-attachment a kind of emptiness? Emptiness is sunyata, right? Emptiness. Is it emptiness? Well, interestingly, I'm not sure whether it came from the same person or not. The question I received also came with an answer, right? The answer was really, I think it's kind of correct. Yeah? The answer was say that, well, non-attachment, but there are many kinds of non-attachment. So either whether it's a correct non-attachment or it's not, right? So only the correct non-attachment can be understood as emptiness, right? So, and then he keep on give it two examples. One kind is like the extreme kind of emptiness, or the very kind of like one kong, stubborn, or yeah, another kind of extreme of empty, which is not the middle way. These are the extreme emptiness. They say that this can make us become like a carefree person. And some people say when someone give up, right? What will you say when they give up? I don't care anymore, right? So is it emptiness? Is it non-attachment? So the answer here give an example of this kind of giving up, don't care anymore. Actually, it's not understanding of emptiness. It's giving up, right? So yeah, so he just, I think this is correct answer. Attachment, what does it mean? Non-attachment, right? Non-attachment means that you don't hold on to it or you hold on to too much. It's kind of in the middle. In the middle of it, right? You don't give up, but you know that you cannot own the thing or whatever you try to achieve. There's recently a book I read. This is in Chinese, yeah. I think it also came out as a movie. It's called 你的孩子不是你的孩子，你嘅仔唔係你嘅仔。Your son is not your son in English. Have you heard of that? Yeah, it's more like a psychological kind of like investigation. It talks about, like when you raise a child, well, either it's a girl or a boy, right? You thought, I am the mother. He or she is my child, right? It's my child, mine. You own, like you kind of, it belongs, they belong to you. So the book tried to break the kind of like understanding. No, you think it's yours? It's not. It's an independent individual, right? But does that mean that, no, it's not my son, so I don't care anymore, right? It's not that you don't care. You still care. You provide whatever he or she need, right? But you give it you give it level of freedom. You don't own the person. You let it grow. I mean, explore, right? Grow by him or herself. So I think this is closely related to the understanding of emptiness. Emptiness doesn't mean that you don't care anymore. You don't belong. Anything doesn't belong. No, it's like your child. It's still your child. You still own the cup. You still own your child. It's just that you cannot own them forever. They have their own thoughts. You let them free, and then that's a fine tuning there. Whenever that is a time, you let it go free. Even if you have to depart from your children, you have to say goodbye to your lovely cup. You just have to let it go. So that is the meaning of emptiness. It's neither hold it too strong or completely giving up. So that is a middle path taught by the Buddha. Yeah. So it's used, the word emptiness means that we own nothing at the end. And so the Chinese saying that, what is it? 生唔帶嚟，下一句係咩咧？死唔帶走啊！ Okay, something like that, yeah. When you're born naked, right? When you're living this world, you're also living the same way. So that comes about the understanding of the emptiness. Well, that's the theory. But okay, so is non-attachment a kind of emptiness? Yes, it depends on whether you understand the middle way. It's neither extreme or giving up. Is it okay? Right. Okay. There's one more question. Evening, Venerable, what would constitute conditions in the law of cause and effect? Example, does chanting the Buddha's name, upholding precept constitute causes or conditions? What do you think? What is cause and condition? Are you guys thinking, or are you just waiting for me to? It's either way, yeah. What is the question? Yeah. The question, yeah, what's the question? What constitute conditions in the law of cause and effect? Yeah, I kind of a bit confused too. Of course, when you chant the Buddha name, it's a way of practice. Is you're going to generate merit? You're going to develop a kind of like peace in your mind. So that, of course, is a cause, and the effect is you create calmness in your mind. So, but in general, cause and effect is everywhere, anytime, even right now, every single moment. Every time you flip the finger like this, snap the finger like this, they are like, I don't know how many, 60 moments. I mean, in the Abhidharma time, 60 moments, I mean, you have already created 60 thoughts. Every thought is a cause. Every cause will have an effect. So even just now, you have already created 60 karma seeds, and that will have effect very quick. You know, even though you're looking at me as if you are so concentrating on what I'm saying, I know your mind is flying something there, like the dinner we had. 頭先個豆腐真係蒙古豆腐包，哇！每粒豆腐包炸到好似個蒙古包咁，淋上啲酸甜汁咧，真係正到不得了。You understand Cantonese, right? Yeah, we just had a dinner in Shah Alam. Okay, so those of you from Singapore, welcome to Shah Alam. We were talking about maybe in the future we can, Shah Alam Buddhist Society will invite you all to come over here and let's take part in the activities. They say they'll belanja you. I don't know. Okay, yeah, just come for activities. Anyway, so yeah, every time we talk, every time we have a thought, there's a cause and effect. There's no escape. Yeah, only the arhat, you call that when you achieve the highest level of the fourth level arhat, that at that time you stop creating new karma. Right? That's why some people say that, oh, there's always a question about why did the Buddha, right, even after he achieved enlightenment, why did he have to go through suffering? You know, the Buddha went through suffering even when he was teaching for the 49 years or 45 years. Well, some say 49. We keep open. So that's how I try not to be too sure about anything, right? History in India is chaos. Remember that. Especially Mahayana Buddhism in India. Nobody knows exactly what happened there, all right? So be open, either 45 or 49, depends on which source you're looking at. Okay, so the Buddha also went through a lot of suffering. He got sick. He got hit by the stone rolling from the mountain. And in the end, how did the Buddha pass away? All right? How did he, how did his body stop function? Because he ate something poisonous. So how did the Buddha still went through suffering when somebody who has a high achievement as him? Even though we know that when you achieve the Buddha, who definitely stop, you stop creating karma. The karma doesn't work on you anymore. You can go to nirvana anytime, right? If you want to go, you can go right away. So there are many stories in the Chinese Buddhism where those masters, they know, there are some stories in the Chan tradition. They talk about the master, they were just like he was challenged by his good friend. Oh, I dare, I doubt that you can go nirvana anytime. Who says so? And he's gone. Just, suddenly he just whatever pass away, whatever. He can go anytime he want. That means that they are not creating new karma anymore. But what happened? If they are not creating karma, why are they still, going through suffering? So come back to here, right? It's because we still have the previous karma that we have that's not exhausted yet. It's something that you carry, you have to let go. Even though you stop having new things. It's like if your house has too many things now, I know most people do, right? we only wear one pair of clothes at a time, right? But how many do we have? 20, 30. Yeah, I remember when my first job, we need to wear a tie as an engineer. I remember I was so excited. My friend gave me ties, my parent gave me ties. At the end, when I opened my closet, I got at least 10 different colorful ties, but only wear one at a time. Why do you need so many? I don't know, right? So the theory is if that's why in modern life, you know, in order to stop accumulating all these unnecessary things in your closet, the first thing is what should we do? Stop buying. Stop your input, right? It's like when you achieve arahat, when you achieve arahat state, you stop creating karma, right? Right? The same meaning. If you want to stop your closet from being exploding, stop buying. Now, stop going to Shopee, stop going to Amazon, stop, delete your account, go back to your traditional market when you have to take out your wallet. Well, you can pay by, whatever, digital wallet. But anyway, it's still, that's the way, right? And then the next thing, what you do, you give away. It's like the Buddha, right? When he stopped creating the karma, he used up his old one. He has to experience the effect of it. Okay, so there's a cause and effect, right? So it's a psych story. So that's how we learn about cause and effect. Okay, why when a Lotus Sutra only got 20 chapters, the Buddha took 8 years plus to teach? Okay, that's something we talked about last week, right? Okay, the Lotus Sutra, they have 20 chapters, we have 40 chapters, we have 60 chapters, depends on which version you mention. Anyway, so it took 8 years. Okay, first thing I want to say about is the record about taking 8 years is not historically proven. It's only the same by this school. But if okay, let's say it's true. So why the Buddha took 8 years? Well, he has to repeat, right? Because every time he faced different students, sometimes he go to village A, sometimes go village B. Today he's in Shah Alam, tomorrow he's in Sentu. The next day he go to Ipoh, and then go to Penang. Wow, we have 13 states. Is it right? 13 states in Malaysia. They have to go to Singapore, go to Hong Kong. So at least you have to repeat 15 times. So 8 years is nothing compared to what we can do now. All right. So like Mahayana Buddhism, now I took 4 classes. Maybe I got to repeat for another 20 times in the future. So then at the end, I will tell myself, when I write my biography at the end, is it called biography? Yeah. What? Autobiography. Why auto? Self. That means I don't write it. It comes automatically. I write myself auto. Okay. Anyway, so in the end, when I write my autobiography, I will say, oh, Youmin spent 20 years talking about introduction to Buddhism. What? You took 20 years to talk about introduction to Buddhism? You never went beyond introduction? No, never go beyond introduction. Okay, so that's the idea. All right. Okay, so let's start what we're going to talk about today. Everyone fine? Everyone on Zoom, questions, anyone on sports, you have your microphone, you have a mic right in front of you. Okay, we move on. Let's check. 20 minutes. Okay, let's go. All right, today, can you see the word? Is why is it blocking? Here we go. Okay, the Pure Land School. Today we start by talking a little bit about Pure Land School. The Pure Land School is so popular among the Chinese Mahayana that we cannot avoid. We have to know something about it. Yeah. So that's the purpose of this session. All right, Amitabha. Of course, Amitofo in Chinese. Amitabha means a measureless light. The light itself is boundless, so bright, so much, So the brightness it represents positive energy, right? So Amitabha literally means measureless light, but it also has a different name. It's called Amitayus, right? It's called measureless life. The meaning is a bit different. Amitayus means that the life of Amitabha is endless. It has endless long lifespan that he can teach to different people who went to his Pure Land. So either, but the more common name we use is Amitabha. Yeah, but usually he also refers to Amitabha. So when you see these two, we know that he referred to the same Buddha, Amitabha. So the practice of the Pure Land school is not restricted to any school. Now I'm from Chan Buddhism. I practice meditation. I also chant the name of Amitabha. Sometimes I chant the name of Guan Yin Pusa. I would say Namo Guan Shi Yin Pusa. Right, so I do. Even you're from Pure Land School or you're from Chan School or you're from Tian Tai Huayan, the practice of chanting the Buddha's name, like that you wish to go to the Pure Land, is so pervasive that even in Malaysia, in China the same, in Taiwan the same. It doesn't matter whether you are a devoted Buddhist or not. Almost many people want to go to Pure Land. They heard about it. So it's so common, right? It doesn't belong to, like the practice doesn't restrict to any specific school. Any school can practice it this way because it is so simple. Yeah. Of course, you want to study deeper, it doesn't look so simple anymore. But at first, it sounds so simple. You just chant the name and you believe it, you have faith in it, then you can be reborn in the Pure Land. Okay, that is the most simple idea about it. So doesn't belong to any specific school. Anyone can practice it. So Amitabha stays in the Sukhavati. It's called the land of bliss. Yeah, 极乐世界. Now, what is Sukhavati? Right. So this is the photo that I got online. It shows the golden, we have the pond, the thing. So in the sutta, the sutta of Amitabha, it describes the land of, the Sukhavati, this land of pure happiness, right? Okay, this is the two lines that I found from the Amitabha Jing, right? 从是西方, okay, let me try in Cantonese. 從是西方過10萬億佛土，有世界名曰極樂，其途有佛，號阿彌陀，今現在說法。Okay, this is a Cantonese one. So it means that, okay, maybe it's your turn to read, yeah? How about that? You want to grab that microphone? Anyone? Okay. We start from our class first. Let's read for us. Imagine you really have strong faith and you love the Pure Land. Let's use your voice to tell us how you love the Pure Land, how it looks like.
At the time, the Buddha told the elder Sariputra, west of here, passing beyond hundreds of thousands of millions of Buddha's lands, there is a world called ultimate bliss. In that land, there is a Buddha named Amitabha who has now manifested there to teach the Dharma.
So this is our first introduction in the sutta that talks about, of course, according to the sutta, this sutra is given by the Buddha. Yeah. So the Buddha was having a conversation. He was directing his speech to Sariputra, one of his students. He said, from the west side of the earth, passing beyond hundreds of thousands of millions. I don't know how many zeros at the end. Yeah, it means that from the Mahayana point of view, there's not just one Pure Land. There are 10万亿, right? So it translated as hundreds of thousands of millions. I think there are hundreds of thousands of millions of zero too, right? Buddha's land, there's so many Buddha's land, but this Pure Land is so far away, it's beyond this vast amount of Pure Land. It is on the west side, right? This is what they say about the Buddha. They say, this world is called ultimate bliss. In this land, there's a Buddha named Amitabha, right? He is still now at this very moment manifested there, all right? Remember that the Buddha has 3 bodies. So the one in the Pure Land, he also has a body that shows us he is a Buddha. So he's teaching Dharma there all the time. So this is how, in the beginning of the sutra, it describes. So there's a Pure Land. It tells Sariputra, there's a Pure Land there. There's a Buddha there. He's so far away. And there are many, many Pure Lands. Okay. So in the Amitabha Sutra, how does a Pure Land looks like? You see from the photo here, the picture here, drawing, you have ponds, you have golden shining buildings, and beautiful dancing, what do we call that? Deities, flying deities singing beautiful song every day. It's like really like the, a place of ultimate. So how did they ascribe that in the Amitabha? Okay, let's have, this is so I pick two paragraphs that describe how the Dharma land is like. It's in English. Okay, maybe this time, can I ask anyone on Zoom? Can you read for us?
Venerable, can I try
Can
to
I
read?
see?
Hello.
Yeah, there's a one volunteer. Shifu.
Okay. Usually we are waiting, yeah? They say the longer you wait, and the one who cannot wait, suddenly you eventually pick up the microphone. All right, let me just try. Okay, how about I see on my second one here, Devon Core. Would you like to? Sorry, I beg you because you're at the front. Right, just read it for us. Can you turn on your mic?
Yep. Sariputra, why is that land called ultimate bliss?
Yeah, we cannot hear you. I think.
Can you hear me now?
Oops.
It's a little soft. Maybe you can speak louder.
Okay.
That's the
Sariputra,
thing. We should have tested it earlier. Oh, okay.
why is that land called ultimate bliss?
Well, the fastest way is to get out of the Zoom, right? All right. Okay, how about, okay, we have a face, we
Sorry,
have
Shifu,
a safe
Shifu.
one. How about, Lulu,
Shifu,
you
Shifu.
just try your mic. It works, right?
Shifu, can you hear
Yeah.
us?
That will help us?
Shifu. Oh, I think Shifu cannot hear those on Zoom.
Can you guys hear me?
Shifu, we can hear you, but you can't hear
Oh,
us.
Luis. Oh, sorry. Can you try?
We
How come I cannot hear you?
Yeah, we can hear you, but you can't hear us. Actually, sister was reading halfway.
Ah,
Can you hear
okay.
us?
Let me go
Oh.
back to Zoom again. I don't know why I lost the audio. I think the speaker is this one. Okay, give me 1 minute. I would make sure the audio works again. This should be this one. Okay, maybe Louis, can you say something? Let's make sure we can
Yes.
hear you.
Can you hear us, Shifu?
Yeah, we cannot hear anything.
Yeah.
So funny. Okay. Speaker. Oh, maybe this one. Okay, how about that? Try that again, Louis.
Yes, Shifu, can you hear us? Can you hear me?
Funny. I cannot hear any voice come from here. Okay, let me stop sharing first and then I'll come back again. How about now? Louis, can you say something?
Yes, Shifu, can you hear me?
It's not there. I definitely want to figure this out. Okay, this is fine. This is also fine. What else? How about that, Louis?
Hi, Shifu. Can you hear me?
Uh, wait. Line in?
Hello, Shifu.
No.
Hello.
Oh, now we are back. Woo! Okay, I know we have to turn on the speaker and turn on again. Okay, now. Okay.
You share again. You share your.
Okay. I think I know why. Well, I thought I know why. I still don't know why. Anyway, just turn off the speaker and turn on again, and it will work like a magic. Oh, sorry. There was a previous
Sister,
thing.
you want to share? You read again.
Okay. Should we?
Yeah, just now the Sister Ko was reading.
Okay,
Sariputra.
do one more time.
Sariputra, why is that land called ultimate bliss? The sentient beings that in that land are without any kind of suffering and only enjoy various kinds of happiness. Therefore, it is called ultimate bliss. Furthermore, Sariputra, completely circling the land of ultimate bliss are 7 tiers of railings, 7 layers of netting, and 7 rows of trees, which are all made of the 4 treasures. For this reason, that land is called ultimate bliss. Furthermore, Sariputra, in the land of ultimate bliss, there are ponds of 7 treasures that are filled with water of 8 virtues, and the ground on the bottom of the ponds is covered solely by gold sand. On the 4 sides, there are stairways composed of gold, silver, lapis lazuli, and crystal. Above, there are towered pavilions that have gold, silver, lapis lazuli, crystal, nacre, red pearls, and carnelian magnificently adorning them.
Okay, thanks, Ko. Well, is it confusing with all the words? I think I need to check dictionary to find what it actually means. All precious stones, right? With a pond and then 七功德水. Yeah, these are in Chinese, you have to really, that's why we need to memorize if you want to, of course, if you chant like Amitabha Jing, the Amitabha Sutta a few times, maybe more than a few times, right? You naturally start to memorize because the words are very beautiful and they give you a very clear picture of how the Pure Land looks like. You see, even tell you the ponds with the gold, with silver color, with lapis lazuli, with all these rare germs and stones that lying around. And it even say that you're walking on gold. It's like what once they described in the gold rush in California, 100 years ago, when people walk on the floor, they would kick on gold. Something like that. Yeah? I think the Pure Land is like that too. You have gold everywhere. So anyway, there's a reason for us to have a picture of understanding of how the Pure Land looks like, because you have to know our destination. All right. So I'll come to that, why we need to really have a picture of it. Right. So the Pure Land, okay, why? Why, according to the Pure Land school, that the Buddha spoke specifically about going to Pure Land? Why there's so many Buddha's lands? Like you say that between our earth and the West Pure Land, there are millions and billions of it in between. Why did the Buddha only mention this one? Right. The reason is also given in the text too. Right. So these are this is a poem actually written by one of the great masters in the Pure Land school I think 300 years ago in China. So it's translated like this, right? Is it, well, all Buddha lands are pure, of course, right? All those in between, the hundreds and millions of thousands, they're all pure and adorned. But for ordinary beings with chaotic thoughts, right, who don't have chaotic thoughts, they all do, right? It may be too difficult to reborn in any of those in between, because our mind is so impure, we have so many thoughts. So it's very hard to be reborn in any of those in between, okay? This is what different. And then the second say that the Tathagata, that means the Buddha, he specifically refers to the Western Pure Land, which surpasses 10 billion worlds, those Pure Land in between. Right? This is according to the Pure Land school, right? They say it surpasses all of them. They say, why? So the reason it will give here. It is adorned with the 7 treasures and is the most supreme, where sages, humans, and deities have long lifespan. First of all, the place is so beautifully adorned, right? With all the germs and treasures. And everyone who was born there, they are sages. And they even have like different kind of humans, deities. They have very, very long lifespans, right? And the last part is the most important. Okay, the Buddha Amitabha, he constantly ching the Dharma there, right? And the last thing is the most important. The afflictions of the beings that Pure Land naturally disappear. Naturally disappear. What is affliction? Remember we talk about, right? We all have karma, right? There's a cause and effect. Even in a single snap of finger, you have 60 thoughts, then you have 60 karma created. Well, if you want to count that way. So in a way, we have been reborn again and again for countless time. How many karmas are we carrying? Countless, right? In that case, how are we going to be reborn in the land so pure? So the Amitabha, he guaranteed that, fine, okay, I give you another passport. It doesn't matter whether you carry tons of karma or zero of karma, you can come, right? This is the promise given by Amitabha according to Pure Land. All the afflictions, right? All the karma that you carry with you, if you are being born there, they naturally disappear. Just come, doesn't matter whether you have a certificate, whether you have a degree, whether high school graduated or you're undergraduated or your Ph.D. candidate, whatever, just come. I give you a free train ticket. When you come here, you'll be reborn new. Reborn anew. Of course, according to the Pure Land, also, well, of course, no, of course, it's also fair that, it's unfair to say that if I was reborn and he was reborn, and then he was like the one who has done all the evil deeds, how is it fair that we could go to the same place and, reborn at the same again? It's like what do you call that? The refresh button, right? You click it and then restart. No, it's not that way, right? So in the Pure Land, they say that there are different levels. There are at least 9 levels, right? You are either being born at the top, even you can be born there as like the beginner or the elementary level. If you are born at the elementary level, you'll be in the state that you have to wait a long time before you can meet the Buddha Amitabha. But if you are born the highest level, then you can meet the Amitabha right away. Well, that gives us kind of fairness, right? Even though you can be reborn, you got a free ticket. Yeah, but you are reborn at different levels in the Pure Land. That's why, according to the Pure Land, the Buddha specifically mentioned the Amitabha Pure Land because it's guaranteed. Well, more like the Amitabha is so kind that he gives you kind of like ticket that anyone who has faith can be reborn there, right? This is the promise given by it. And all your karmas, when you're born there, the most heaviest one they will disappear naturally. You don't need to actually do a lot of things. Like this is one of the good things that you want to wish to be reborn there. All right. So this is the reason why they choose a Pure Land, right? According to the Pure Land school. All right. Oh, you want Chinese? Sure. 好 ，so 一切佛土皆严净，凡夫乱想恐难生。Yeah, this is the first one. Second one, 如来别指西方国，从事超过10万亿。And the third one, 七宝庄严圣，七宝庄严最为圣，众圣人天寿命长。That means all human deities have long lifespans. 佛号弥陀常说法，极乐众生障自往。极乐众生 means those who are born in the Pure Land, all your afflictions, all your karma will disappear by itself. You don't need much effort. Sounds great, right? Sounds like a good deal. If I give a contract now, you want to sign up? Anyone? Guarantee to go there. Depends on how long your life will remain. When your time comes, you'll be reborn. You want to sign a contract now? Yes. Okay, I think I'm a good salesperson. All right. They have also some people online. All right. Okay, but how? How are you going to do that? Right now, you're going to teach us more. How are you going to do that? Okay, now you say you want to sign a contract. Okay, but you need to do some work. Of course, there's no free lunch in the world, right? There's a saying, 天下没有白吃的午餐，对不对? There's no free lunch. You have to do work. But what is the work? Of course, in all schools of Buddhism, we would say the Pure Land school is the most affordable to almost everyone. Okay, how is it exactly? Of course, the first thing you know is 念佛. 念佛 means 念. Okay, in Chinese, 念 we usually think about 念 is like, okay, we say the word, right? Namo Amitofo, Tofo, right? Namo. If in Japanese is Namo Amita Butsu. In Chinese it is Namo Amitofo. It's a name, right? But the funny thing is, The word nian actually has two meanings, yeah, from a Chinese. One is you use a mouth, you vocally chant the name. And the other one is what? Yeah, nian. The first one is the recitation of the name Amitabha. Use a mouth that to recite it. Namo Amitabha. Namo Amitabha. Oh, Namo Amitabha. This is first type of nian. Another type of nian is you have a vision. When you think about it and you hold on to it, you don't forget it. So one is recitation, one is a vision. That's why I say that why in the Sutta of Amitabha is so important. They have to describe how the land looks like, so that when you sit down and to think about Amitabha, you can think about the very details of Amitabha Buddha, how it looks like, and how his Pure Land looks like. You have to remember this so vividly in your mind. You hold on to that. So this is a meaning of second meaning of nian, right? A vision. You can see, you can smell even better. Right? So that's the goal. So this become the Pure Land School. Actually, we have two traditions, right? Depends on which one you emphasize. One is you recite the name. One is you focus on a vision of it. But most of us, we combine these two methods together. There used to be a debate between these two schools. Even among the Pure Land schools, say, oh, just recite the name. Say, no, we have to have a vision of the Buddha. But nowadays, it's more like a mix of these two. Okay? So two things you have to do, right? Even though there are two traditions, the goal is the same. There's only one Amitabha land you can go, right? So goal is the same. Just go there. But okay, how are we okay, now talk about, now we know how to have a vision, right? You need to actually practice meditation. That's why I said a vision of Amitabha in Samadhi. Samadhi is a state of calmness in a deep meditation state. When your mind is so pure and no other thoughts, you just focus single-pointedly on the image of the Buddha and the Pure Land. So this is a way to practice. Another way is to recite the name. Okay, how are we going to recite it? Have you heard about it before? If you go to some Chinese temple, there's always a little machine there. They chant all the time. Namo Amitofo. The melody is nice, soft, make you sleepy, like a lullaby. Is it called that? Lullaby, it's really nice. So how exactly do we chant it? So there are also techniques. Okay, I'm going to show you. It's a little bit how we recite the name of Amitabha, right? Now we teach you and then you make sure you do it, right? Okay, one is called vocal recitation. It means you chant the name, you chant it loud. Make sure you can hear it. I say, Namo Amitofo, Namo Amitofo. Or if we follow the machine that sing together, we always chant in a melody. Amitofo, 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 Amitofo. The 5 tones going, repeat again and again. Amitofo, 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 Amitofo. Make sure you can hear yourself clearly. You chant and you hear yourself at the same time, one after another. So that is called a vocal recitation. Okay, so you can see sometimes some Buddhists, when they sit together and some they have like what do you call it? The rosary, nianzu, right? They hold it, Amitofo, 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 right? So if you hold the one with 108 beats, it just called, there are 6 tones of it. So 108 divided by 6 is how many? 48, right? If you go one round, you already chant, well, 48 groups of the same melody. So this is how we used to count. Some people, they give themselves a goal. Oh, I want to chant 10,000 times a day. So they use a beat to count 10,000 times. So you do the maths. You can find out. Depends on the speed too, right? So this is a vocal recitation. You can hear it yourself clearly. Okay, and the second one is, can you use the mic, please? Okay. Okay, ask again. No, because those online cannot hear you.
Is it important for us to learn the Namo and the Amitofo only? Because the first you
Yeah.
say Namo Amitofo, right? And then
Okay.
when we have that rhythm is Amitofo, Amitofo,
Yeah.
Amitofo.
Yeah, what do you think? With Namo, without Namo? How about what do you think? Is it important to have a Namo or not? Yes or no? Yes. So Amitofo is wrong. We have to have Namo. Final decision? See a final answer? No. Some people say no. No, okay. I see some people. So it's same, right? Yeah, Namo is homage. So you say you should have 6 words, but not 4. Okay, how many things of it? Definitely 6. Raise your hand. I can see that online too. Definitely 6. Raise your hand. Okay, we have a few, probably 25%. Yeah, 1 out of 4. All right. Okay, how do I go back? Speaker gallery or speaker. Okay. Eh, where's my page? Sorry. I was messing around with the. Am I still sharing? You guys can
Yes,
see.
Shifu, you are. You're still sharing.
What did I do? Oops. I need. Okay. How do I go back to the screen? I don't know what I click. Recorder. To the slides. Okay. Let me see. Where's the slide?
Oh, you're right.
Perfect. I'm sure you guys can see that too, right? But I can see no one there anymore. Anyway, it's fine. Okay, let's go on. Okay, the second one is silent recitation. It's opposite. What is silent recitation?
So what's the answer just now?
Sorry about that, I forgot. What's the answer just now? Oh. Okay, actually, both are fine. We have something called the Nian Fo, right? We have a retreat of 7 days called the Nian Fo. 7 days. You chant in the morning till night. It's something that only crazy people can do, yeah? Really, you have to chant the same thing again. So we start by very slow one. Namo, maybe 6 words, yeah? Maybe you can chant Namo Amitofo, Namo Amitofo, Namo Amitofo, Namo. Now, and then usually it starts with singing Namo Amitofo, and then they change with a beat suddenly. It becomes Amitofo, 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 according to the speed, to the beat of the little we call it wooden fish. Amitofo, Amitofo, Amitofo. So it started from 6 words and it changed to 4. So both are okay. Okay?
The combination is also okay.
Yeah. So it depends on whether you want the 6 words or the 4 words. Amitofo, 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 or Namo Amitofo. So for this tradition, both are acceptable. Okay? Okay, how about silent recitation? What do you think? That's so strange. I can't see their faces anymore. Right? I definitely want to go back. Speaker. Maruchi speaker. No, only one speaker. That's my yeah, I'm back. Okay, so I need to go back to this screen. I know what to do. Simple, just share it again. Where is my Microsoft PowerPoint? We're here. Share. You're back. All right. I'm sorry, those for you online. You don't know what I'm doing. I'm messing around with the Zoom. Now I'm back. But you can see that, right? Okay, I'm not touching anymore. Okay, the third one. Okay, silent recitation. How do you do silent recitation? How is that? Just silent? You sit there. Meditation? Anything else you can notice from outside? I like that idea. Yes. I'll talk about that later. Okay. What else? Silent recitation, there's a requirement. You don't just say that, do nothing there, you look bored. Sorry, don't disturb me. I'm chanting the name of Amitabha. No. You have to move your lips, but you don't say it out. Already, there's a sound, but hardly cannot be heard by the next person. But maybe you heard a little bit. But your mouth keep moving, but there's a silence in, you cannot hear the voice of it, right? So there's also a method of doing it. But what else? There's a mix in between. Isn't it fun? Half vocal, half silent. What does that mean? It's a middle way. Emptiness, right? It's what about there's always a way of middle path in Buddhism, no matter what you do, right? There's a middle way. Either it's silence, either that is a vocal one, either that is half vocal, half silent. What is half vocal, half silent? Hybrid. Hybrid car, right? Gas and electricity. Try that. How? Imagine. This is it. Amitofo, Amitofo. What is it? Amitofo, Amitofo. The first method, right?
So when you're tired already, then you go to silent now.
Exactly. Okay, someone just say that it's because you get tired. Say it's true. This is one of the reasons. No, this is, I think maybe the only reason why we have so many ways of chanting. When you get tired of it, you chant from 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. You get tired. This is written in the text. It's said when people get tired, you can change your way. So this is one way. You lower your voice. You still can hear it, but a much lower tone. So it's so flexible. As long as you keep focusing on the name. So this third method is half is like Amitofo, 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 Amitofo. And then when you feel tired a little bit more, silent. To help to protect your voice. Okay? So the three methods. Okay, few more to go. Anyway. Another one is contemplative recitation. Remember we mentioned about the second method of the chanting the name. The nian is what? To remember, right? To have an image, a vision of Amitabha. So this is the mix of these two. You chant the name, Amitofo, Amitofo, but you imagine the Buddha is right in front of you and your world is like the pure land. So you have a vision, but you keep chanting out. So this is what we do during the retreat of the recitation of Amitabha. Sometimes we walk, we chant, sometimes we sit there in meditation pose. We chant the name, we close our eyes, and we start to imagine, Amitofo, Amitofo, Amitofo. We start to imagine the Buddha right in front of us. So this is one method, all right? Contemplative recitation, and what else? Following to the highest recitation. Oh, this is fun. Following one after another, non-stop. Okay, it's like this. Amidofo, 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 non-stop. Only stop when you take a breath. And if not, just keep going. Amidofo, 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 Amidofo. So, yeah. It means that so the purpose of this one is, they call that following the highest recitation. It means that you don't stop in between. The reason is, the moment you stop, your mind start wandering. Can you imagine? You just keep, it's like a very forceful way of forcing you to be focusing on a single word. Amidofo, Amidofo. So that's why they call that 追顶. I mean, you chasing one after another, faster, until the fastest way you can do. So come back to that tick, tick, thing. I don't know whether you know what I'm talking about. There's kind of counter, right? They used to have the mechanical one. I remember there was one time I was sitting with a practitioner. I know that he is very experienced in the chanting. So we were talking, and then every few moments I can hear, we were talking about, oh, how are you feeling today? Yeah, not bad. Yeah. What was that sound? What was that noise, So he was holding that. And then I understand that every 10 recitation of Amitofo, he would count once. But he was talking to me. So I was quite, like bemused, like, wow, you have split mind. You can chant the name at the same time, you can talk at the same time. right? But actually, this is a way of doing that too, right? That's why the recitation of the name Amitabha is not restricted to a sitting cushion when you're driving, when you're waiting in a bus, when you are walking, even during a meeting. Right? When you feel like, oh, it's so boring. Oh, Amitofo, Amitofo, Amitofo. That's a very good way of passing time. Oh, sorry. Don't quote me saying that, okay? But actually, it's true. Yeah, it's a way to remind ourselves, oh, come back to become mindfulness, right? To come back to mindfulness. It's a way to recall. Don't wander around, but you know that when you feel bored, what are you thinking? Your mind will either thinking of the past or the future or in the present, miscellaneous things that are not important. So these are all distractions, right? So you come into the name of Amitabha, that is connected, to a very positive energy that reminds you, okay, come back to the positive energy without any distraction. So Namo Amitofo, Namo. You can recite inside your heart. This time don't move your lips, okay? Your boss may notice that. Don't move it. So that's why we have so many ways of 念佛, right? The 追底念 is really quick, one after another, right? So this is one way. Okay, another way is bowing recitation. You can either in name, you chant the name Namo Amitofo, and then you do the bow, right? You know the Chinese way of Mahayana way of bowing is different from Theravada. If you have chant, next time we can have a workshop of just teaching you Mahayana way, Theravada way, and also Vajrayana way. The Da Li Bai, is your whole body lie down on the floor with the whole body touching the floor, and then you come up again. That's when we can. That is very different tradition and the way of doing. So this one means that either you chant the name Amitabha one time, maybe some people few times. Namo Amitofo, Namo Amitofo. Okay, bow, and you come up again. Namo Amitofo. So this is another way of doing that too, right? So it's good for exercise too. 10-time recitation. 10-time recitation. That means that every time you hold Namo Amitofo, 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 Amitofo. Okay, you count this as one unit. Every time 10 times. And then 10 times, if you have a rosary, you roll your rosary once. Yeah, that was what I saw the Buddhist was doing. Every 10 times he rolled it, he used the rosary to the one bit of rosary. So 10-time recitation. Another one is, the last one is 10 breath recitation, 10口气念. Okay, the idea is you take a deep breath, then you start the name. Amitabha, 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 until your breath almost gone. Gone. Okay. Take a deep breath, start again. 10 times. That means that you take your 10 breath, whole breath to recite the name Amitabha non-stop. So this is also another technique. Okay. If you ask me, Sifu, why there's so many, complicated, sometimes even a little bit interesting way of chanting? Yeah, because we are all lazy people, We have all the excuses of not doing it. That's why the masters in the past gave us everything. You're standing, fine, you chant it. You're healthy, fine, you do this way. You're like feeling so weak in the Monday morning, having a Monday blue, you don't want to get down. You can also chant it while you're lying on the bed. So that's why, because everyone has different needs and different, we call that circumstances. That's why we have all different ways. Yeah, so interesting. If you pick a way or any way, you just follow it. So this is our interesting way of doing recitation. Okay? So, if you choose one way, which one would you like?
Hybrid.
Which one is hybrid? Oh, okay. Now, brother Yo here, he says that he want to choose. I think brother you cannot see him. He's right here. Yeah, the cameraman. Yeah, he said he want to choose a third way hybrid. Why?
If I'm a meeting, if I'm
Okay, pick it up. Sorry.
Sorry.
Someone help me to pass the mic.
if I'm in a meeting, if I'm asked a tough question, then I do it quietly.
Okay. So either quietly, but when you're not speaking, you chant it out loud.
No. I will keep quiet.
Keep quiet. All right, at least I know. Yeah. Okay. So choose your method. Time is short. All right, now do a little bit our exercise, okay? Anyone, if you know Chinese, doesn't know Chinese, doesn't matter. Take out your paper and your pen. Just write about any Buddhas or Bodhisattvas name that you can remember, you heard of. It doesn't matter you can write it or not. Doesn't matter. Just such a sound. Write it down. Now you know. At least you know Amitabha, Amitofo. What else? Who else you have heard of? Amitayus? Yes. 2 answers. Keep going. I want you to write down how many you can remember. Doesn't matter you are Chinese Buddhism or you are Theravada Buddhism, Vajrayana Buddhism, any name you heard about it from Buddhism. I want you to refresh it a bit. Okay. I give you 30 seconds of silence. You write it down, then we can share. Oh, I think I know what happened.
Mm-hmm. 心经法身毗卢遮那佛，圆满报身，释迦是迦心经法身毗卢遮那佛是圆满报身，如舍那佛如舍那佛，千百亿大圣释迦牟尼佛。东方净琉璃世界药师琉璃光佛，西方极乐世界阿弥陀佛，让来摄持弥勒真佛，十方上师一切诸佛大士文殊师利菩萨、大恒普贤菩萨，日光遍照，日光菩萨，月光菩萨，月
Okay.
光
Done.
菩萨，大愿地藏。
All right. Now why don't we start online first? Okay. Maybe start from Louis. Maybe anyone, someone Louis, just yell it out if you have a name. Any Buddha, Bodhisattva.
Okay.
You turn on your mic.
You can't hear me, 师父。
I can hear you again. Why?
Oh.
Yeah, lying in. Okay. I should be able to hear you. But it's not. Yeah. It's funny. Sorry, Louis, I cannot hear you.
Hear me, 师父? Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I do. Okay.
Just one, right?
Yeah.
文殊师利菩萨。
Wensu Sri Pusa. Okay. Manju Sri. Right. Everyone done? Okay. Who else on the line?
师父，
地藏王菩萨，
地藏王菩萨。
无尽意
Okay.
菩萨，
地藏菩萨。Who else? What else?
无尽意菩萨，无尽意菩萨，
无尽意菩萨。Okay.
贤菩萨，
是我，
药师佛。
yes，
大
Okay.
势至菩萨，大势
大势
至菩萨，
至菩萨。Okay.
观音菩萨。
观音菩萨。Okay.
妙吉祥菩萨，
妙吉祥菩萨。Okay. Well, some of the name also, not quite familiar. What?
弥勒菩萨，
弥勒菩萨。
Oh, 弥勒菩萨 Maitreya. Okay.
毗
All
卢
right.
遮那佛。
Okay.
燃
毗卢遮那
灯佛，
佛。燃灯佛。
普贤菩萨，
普贤。Okay.
心经大海
Samantha
多
I think.
菩萨，
哎，
金
清净
树
大海
菩萨
菩萨。
Yeah.
OK，
密卢遮那佛，还有
比如真那佛，this is what you heard about。
OK，
金刚萨陀菩萨，
金刚萨陀菩萨，哇，it coming more and more Vajrayana now. Okay, we are going
卢舍
from
那佛，
卢舍那佛。Okay, yeah, many of those sounds new, right? Sound not unfamiliar. Okay, how about anyone here? Just shout it out. Anyone that anything that sorry? Something you can heard of, even though you don't know how to write it or pronounce. Sorry, okay, louder. Or medicine Buddha, okay. Vintara, okay. The Tara, okay. Green Tara, okay. How about the one that asks for fortune? 财神 Tara, you go in.
黄财神，
Huang Tai Sen, sorry. Okay, sorry, I'm the one who is not too familiar with the Huang Tai Sen. Okay, what else? Chinese Buddhism. Anyone the name that you heard of? 准提菩萨. Oh, good. 准提菩萨. Okay. 韦陀菩萨, 地藏菩萨. Who's a good friend of 韦陀菩萨? 伽蓝菩萨, right?
伽蓝菩萨。
They always come in pair. Okay. They're all in Chinese name. I think they have their Sanskrit name, but I don't remember all. Okay, what else? Last
someone
one.
someone wrote on the chat 日光菩萨、月光菩萨、
日光菩萨. Okay.
月
All
光
right.
菩萨。
Okay. If you want to learn more about the Chinese Buddhist, Chinese Mahayana Buddhas and Bodhisattvas name, there's a text. We call it one for. Is it one for? Yeah, 10,000, right? Actually, it's not 10,000. I think we only chant 3,000. I remember during a Chinese New Year, sometime we do the ceremony of chanting the name. 千佛, I think there are 3,000 of it. But one for, and maybe not one, yeah. Maybe they chant it 10 times, then become one for. I'm sure there are more than that, but there's a sutra that lists all the names of the Buddhas. 3,000 of them. And I'm sure many of them we have no idea. So there are a lot of imagination, we don't know where did the name come from, So we only very clear about Sakyamuni for is the one that we have. Okay, so just a quick overlook. Okay, how do I close this? All right. So that's why in Chinese Buddhism there are many festivals throughout the year. Some of the famous Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, we celebrate their birthday. Okay, for example, these are a few Buddhas, those are very popular. Maitreya, we mentioned, Amitabha, Medicine Buddha, Guan Yin, Manjushri, Wenshu, Puxian is Tabhadra, Tijang Wang is Kasitigapa. These are the few. It's not only those, there are more than that, but only list a few. For example, Maitreya is the 1st of January. This is according to the lunar calendar, right? The Chinese lunar calendar. Maitreya is 1st of January. And Amitabha is 17 November. Okay, write it down if you want to celebrate their birthday and know their Holocaust, know their horoscope. Yeah. And which one is closest to you? Yeah, maybe if you're Taurus, so which one is closest to me? Maybe this Buddha or Bodhisattva, they have something I can share in common, It's like little thing we can look forward to. I find which one has the same horoscope as mine. How we celebrate? Okay, you take out someone is asking here how we celebrate their birthday. Each of them actually, we almost have a specific sutra to chant. Maitreya, we have one. Amitabha, we have Medicine Buddha, we have one. Guan Pusa, we have one. So there's a short, not too long. Usually we chant them in a temple. Maybe sometime lasts an hour or 2 hours, depending on how long it is. We chant it, and then we make offering to the Buddha. That's it in the whole morning, You just remember the birthday of the, and then sometimes we have the head monk, the abbot will give dharma sharing. What is this Buddhist? What is this Bodhisattva about? What does he did? What did he do? The kind of stories and to kind of give us some some what do you call that? Some moral boosting. Anyway, okay. September 29, medicine Buddha. Guan Yin. Anyone guess? 3 times. Perfect. There are 3 dates according to them. What are they? Got a clue?
3月19
Yeah. 2月19 or 3月19? 2月19, right? Okay, one is 2月19. Another one?
6月19
6月19. And 9月19. Okay, 3 of them. Oh, not bad. You got it. Okay, what are they? February, June, and September 19. Why 3? Was he born 3 times? No, right? Okay, the first one. Yeah, okay, anyone?
生
Hmm.
生灭 then 成道
Which one is Cheng Dao?
the last one 9月19
Not quite. Okay, the first one is the birthday, right? February 19 is the birthday of Guan Yin. Okay. Actually, the Cheng Dao is September. Cheng Dao means that when he became enlightened, he achieved enlightenment on September. Cheng Dao, sorry. Oh,
成
sorry.
生
One is,
生死成道
sorry, actually Cheng Dao is June. September one is when he 出家, he became ordained. When the Guan Yin Pusa, he was first a lay person, according to the legend, and then he became ordained on September 16. No, September 19. Okay, so first one, where he was born. The June one is when he achieved enlightenment. The last one is when he became ordained. Okay, why are this important? Why is this important? Because in Malaysia, especially for Chinese Buddhist monk like us, we love these 3 dates. We love to choose among these 3 dates for our own, what do you call that? For our own, what is called 剃度典礼 ah? Okay, for our shaving, for when the day we renounce, when the day we become monastic. So mine is on June. Yeah, when the Guan Yin Pusa, when the Guan Yin was actually became enlightened. So we love these 3 dates because they are special. We feel really connected. Yeah, Guan Yin Pusa is everywhere, and it's in every corner of Chinese culture. Every family knows it. Everyone knows it. So for us, especially in Mahayana in Malaysia, we love to choose among these 3 days. Like my brother monk, I think he was September. Yeah. So anyway, 2 of us are among these dates. So this is special meaning. Okay, another one is Wensu Manjusri is April 4th. Puxian is February 21st. Dijang Pusa is July 30th. Okay, so you can see how busy we can become. If you go to a Chinese temple, it's always having Fa Hui, Fa Hui, Fa Hui, right? Is it why? Because we have. It's in the Vesak. Depends on which country. I think ours is the May, right? I think we choose May 1st as according to our calendar. The second full moon, the first full moon day. Well, because the historical record is not agreeable. I think in the 1950s, we had a kind of like a forum there where most of the different tradition, Theravada, and we all agreed on one single date where the Buddha was born. So I think we pick a date, the 15th of April or something, to be like everyone agreed. We pick one day and then all tradition agree. But I mean, all tradition doesn't mean all country, right? Like Taiwan, I think they choose another date, which is I think 1 month apart or 2 weeks apart. I don't remember. I think the 8th of April. So it depends on how they judge the historical record. Yeah, so it's not very clear. Yeah, the exact date of the Buddha, when he was born. But in Malaysia, we have like, you can go on Google and check again when they came about how we fix the date of the Buddha's birthday. Yeah, that's one of the most important. I don't put it here because, why I didn't put it here? Okay, anyway, I just forgot. I thought everyone should know that, right? So I just forgot to put it here. Okay, fine. Okay, that's why there are many birthdays, but of course, depends on the temple. Some temple will celebrate try, at least we have some chanting session together. So it could be very busy. Almost every month we have someone's birthday. So if we attend all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, yeah.
师父, these dates are based on Chinese calendar.
Oh, yeah, sorry, on Chinese calendar. Yes. Okay, let's see what I want you to watch about. Yeah, we still have time. 5 minutes. I want to watch something about the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Okay, I want to share this into this one. Sound is on. Can you see that? Full screen. Okay. All right. Clear?
We're here at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York looking at a monumental sculpture of a bodhisattva.
So Buddha's the main figure we often see, and there are many Buddhas in Chinese Buddhist art. There's the historical Buddha, but lots of other figures. And then there are also bodhisattvas, and that's what we're looking at. And one of the main ways you can distinguish them is that the bodhisattva is often heavily adorned, like this figure is.
A bodhisattva is an enlightened being that has chosen not to pursue nirvana, but to remain with ties to the earthly realm and secure enlightenment or release from samsara, which is the cycle of rebirth for all sentient beings. So bodhisattvas are seen as beings of compassion.
So they've decided to forego nirvana and be here for us, for regular people, to help us to achieve our own nirvana.
And they're shown to have these worldly ties through their princely garb. The iconography of a Buddha is shown in monk's garb, having relinquished all ties to the earth, all ties to material things. So you see the Buddha with the elongated earlobes and the jewels removed. Here we see a bodhisattva in princely robes and heavily adorned with valuable jewels, showing their connection still to the earth.
What's funny is that this is the bodhisattva of compassion, and yet I don't feel a lot of identification with it. It's very frontal, it's very symmetrical and severe and kind of abstracted, and it feels very distant in that way.
There is a solemnness and a serenity, but there is also a haughtiness to the facial expression of this image.
Exactly. He must be about 15 or 20 feet high, and I imagine it stood in a temple complex.
Yes, it's huge and frontal, so perhaps it was the main image for worship in its original location.
And often these kinds of figures would be shown in groups within a temple, and this one is so large that it's likely that it was the main figure.
Often bodhisattvas are shown flanking Buddhas, and they'll have the weight on one foot turning toward the Buddha that they're flanking, and this image is presented frontally, and often this bodhisattva is attributed to being Avalokiteshvara, Guan Yin, the bodhisattva of compassion, the most popular bodhisattva for worship in China under Mahayana type of Buddhism.
One of the ways we would normally identify a bodhisattva figure, since there are many bodhisattvas representing different ideas, is by what they're holding. But unfortunately, this sculpture, being from the 6th century, has suffered a lot of damage, and its hands are no longer with it, and so we don't know what it held in its
Right,
hands.
we don't know what the attributes may have been, and Avalokiteshvara, Guan Yin in China, often has the Buddha Amitabha in the crown, and that's an attribute that distinguishes it and makes it clear that the iconography is Avalokiteshvara. But here, the Buddha image is not there. It's a more of a floral crown. And so there is some uncertainty over which bodhisattva this actually is.
It's interesting how much we can tell about it, but how much of it is still really in dispute by scholars. And the styles of art that we see in art history are so often connected to the historical circumstances, often politics, the government. And we know that the period just before this was called the Northern Way, which had a really different style.
Yes, what happened is in the Northern Way, the style that was predominant was weightless and very linear. Important examples can be found at the cave temple complex of Yungang, where in cave 6 you would see a Buddha or Bodhisattva image that shows no attention to the body form, but a lot of attention to the folds and line of the drapery, and the shapes are weightless.
So that period known as the Northern Way is about 50 years before this and is a relatively stable time in parts of China.
Particularly in the north, absolutely.
And then a period of political upheaval follows.
And the two strong dynasties that emerge in the north are the Northern Qi in the east and the Northern Zhou in the west. And this is a very interesting Bodhisattva example when you're thinking about that time period. There are some characteristics here that really indicate the Northern Qi, but others that indicate the Northern Zhou. And granted, there's a lot of overlap between the styles of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas that come out of these two dynasties. One thing is this incredible opulence in terms of the drapery and the jewelry details that are often associated with the Northern Zhou. The other aspect that is Northern Zhou is the really square shape to the face, the block-like features. Both the Northern Zhou and the Northern Qi broken from this Northern Way aesthetic of weightlessness and show the Bodhisattvas and Buddhas with a lot of three-dimensional and geometric form.
This figure is anything but weightless.
Absolutely. You can see it's monumental and columnar, but it has this weight and volume. We're looking at it the way that it would have been viewed in the temple. We would be looking up at it, and that's why the head is so oversized.
So the artist would have wanted to make sure we could really see the head.
Yes.
And from far below, one way to do that is to enlarge the head.
Looking at the facial features in particular, there is a head at the Metropolitan Museum of Art that is from Xiangtangshan, a Northern Qi site in China. And if you compare this head, you can see that this is much more block-like, but when you look at the lips and the eyes and other aspects of the facial features, there is a similarity.
So we're really talking about dynasties, different historical periods, and different regional styles emerging in different places, and art historians really needing to study each of those places and the art that emerges, and then comparing and contrasting to date and to locate a lot of these early figures. Buddhism had only come to China a few hundred years earlier from India, and in that few hundred years, the styles that develop for Buddhist art are really dependent on those different regions and the different dynasties, and therefore there's so much change going on.
And this is an interesting example of that because we see here this very abrupt break with the weightless linear aesthetic of the Northern Way to this much more volumetric, massive form that is associated with the Northern Qi and Northern Zhou. The source for this change is often identified as Gupta in India, sensuous Gupta style.
It's really a puzzle in
It
so
is.
many ways. So many questions. One thing we know for sure, because we can see the residue here, is that the sculpture was painted, and probably painted many times to keep the color vibrant over the years.
What we're looking at is probably remnants of Ming Dynasty painting, maybe 16th century, but it would have been originally painted as well.
So it's important to imagine it in its original context, within a temple, sensuously painted, and in that kind of religious, spiritual context.
Yes, in a much darker environment as well, and surrounded by other sculptures and paintings.
Okay, can you see the everybody here? Yeah. So interesting. Yeah. Remember we talked about how you recognize a Guan Yin. There's always a Buddha Amitabha on his head or her head, depend. So even a Guan Yin Bodhisattva, he or she changed sex from a male to a female according to the Chinese legend. So nowadays we go to a Chinese temple, you see all kind of different sculptures, all kind of different statues that you have no idea who they are. Don't worry. I got confused all the time. We don't know the names, right? And unless someone described them to you, unless, hey, can you see that? Okay, is it showing participants? Is it still there? Can you see everyone? No, the picture is gone, right? So
we
funny.
can see.
Oh, okay. Anyway, right. So now, okay, let's talk about Maitreya. Right, this is one of the statue from a very early stage from Gandhara. This is a certain sculpture that has a lot of influence from the West. Yeah, so Hellenistic, Persian, and Indian artistic influence. So remember, this is one phase of Maitreya, and this is also Maitreya, right? The sitting and thinking, it's like a philosopher. So we call this the thinking Maitreya. Remember, there's a famous sculpture. Also, we call it the philosopher. Like, what was it called again? In the Greek, I think it's in the Greek time, a very famous sculpture. Is it by, I forgot by who? Michelangelo? Maybe not. Anyway, I'm not so good at art history. So this is a thinking Maitreya, right? So kind of an Indian look, right? So this also from Gandhara, the Gandhara period, during the much western part of China, or on the Silk Road. This was Maitreya, but the figure now become much slimmer, right? And this standing statue now they found in Nepal, right? The special design Maitreya. All right, what else? This is also Maitreya, but a much flat look. This is, where is it? In Sichuan, right? One of the biggest statue. If you have gone to China, Chengdu, right? If you go there, then you might have seen this. You have to actually go on a boat to see this, right? This is Maitreya. Why is it so different from this one? Right? It's an Indian, of course. This become a Chinese one, right? It's a Chinese Maitreya. Okay. What more? This is also Maitreya. This is a cross-leg one. You see the figure is different now. This is found in one of the Dunhuang, the Dunhuang cave. This is the statue of Maitreya. See, they have a different style, but by study they know that this refers to Maitreya. Okay, so Maitreya also becoming a very important belief system in Chinese Buddhism. So nowadays, this is our Maitreya, right? This is everywhere you see. They become what do we call that? Laughing Buddha, right? The Budai Hesang. He is Maitreya. So we can see how time can change a person from this into this. Yeah. So it depends how happy he becomes. Like in China, because we need someone who is like welcoming. So that's why you go to a Chinese temple, you always see the laughing Buddha where? At the entrance. More precisely, right next to the donation box. No, just kidding. But it's true. I go to many temples, traditional one. I always see the welcome laughing Buddha on my chair. And then right next to it is a donation box. When you're happy, you don't need more, right? So just kidding. But it become a very important figure in Chinese Buddhism. That everybody will know this, everybody can associate with it. So this is Maitreya. So the body changes, right? The form change. What else? Amitabha. That's Amitabha also changed. So this is a wooden seated statue found in Taipei Palace Museum. It's a wooden statue, right? This is a Amitabha. Right? What else? This is also Amitabha. This is a famous one you found in Kyoto, in Eikando, right? In Kyoto. This is a wave. This Amitabha is the only one in the world that he looks to the side and smile. So this is according to a legend, because one of the famous monk in the Pure Land school, one day, right, when he was doing meditation and reciting the name, like the one you choose, right, you're sitting there and then you say the name you're imagining, then he suddenly saw. It's either seeing or dreaming about it, right? He saw that Amitabha was, asking him to join him doing a walking meditation. So he was following the Amitabha, but then he was too slow. So the Amitabha turned back, and saying that too slow. So then he woke up and remembered the face. So they designed this sculpture of Amitabha. This is the only one in the world. If you go to Kyoto in Japan, you can take a look, right? This is very famous, not too big, only about, forgot. Oh, anyway, I forgot. Maybe a huge, smaller than the true human size. Yeah. So Amitabha, different form. This is the one we know Amitabha nowadays, right? The most common, the one you can see in China. Oh, this is Guan Yin. This is definitely from the Gupta. Was it Gupta? Sorry. Yeah, oh, this is actually from Nalanda during the Pala dynasty in India during Nalanda time, maybe a few century. Yeah, during the early few century. This is Guan Yin. See, he looks like a young boy, right? A young man, right? Definitely a male, well, or somewhere in the middle, right? The middle path figure. The Guan Yin Bodhisattva. This is also Guan Yin. This is called the water moon Guan Yin. It's called Guan Zizai. Actually, Bodhisattva, Avalokitesvara. Yeah. What are the meaning of Avalokitesvara is like Zizai. Zizai is how do you translate Zizai in English? Carefree, or you're like very relaxed. So you can see that this is only one doing relaxed way. What kind of Buddha or Bodhisattva would sit like this? So this is only one is to show that how relaxed and how calm they are while they are deep in the meditation, deep in insight meditation. So it's called a 水月观音, right? Water moon Guan Yin Bodhisattva. This is the 千手千眼观音, right? So this is also a very famous one. So this is also a type of Guan Yin Pusa. It has 1,000 hands and 1,000 arms. It is because he is supposed to help everyone in need. That's why he needs so many hands. Like every hand holding a different type of a tool that he can use. They got magical power. They can help different people with different needs. So this is the one that we know nowadays, Guan Yin, right? More like a motherly figure that we almost often see. Okay. We have 10 minutes. Okay, let's talk a bit about Ulam Bana. This is about a festival in Chinese Buddhism. What is Ulam Bana? Ghost Festival. Everyone knows Ghost Festival, right? I don't know how your parents told you when I was a kid. Well, even until now, especially in the Chinese lunar calendar, during the month of July, what shouldn't you do? Stay indoor. What else? Don't go out. What else? Stay near a monk for safety. Or what else? Right? Yeah, this is what we believe, right? So the Ghost Festival. So why is Ulam Bana really about ghosts? Actually, it is. It is about ghosts. Okay, what do we do in Chinese Buddhism, right? Well, during that period, if we call that the Ulam Bana festival or a ceremony, the main purpose is to feed the hungry ghosts. We know that along the 6 rooms of our samsara, hungry ghost is one of them. So that is the time, according to Chinese belief, for the hungry ghosts, the July is the only month that they're released from their world or from hell. They will go back to where they stay. Okay. So make sure if you move to a new home, right, then you're safe. They cannot find you anymore, right? So I don't know how they find us. So this is the Chinese belief. They will come back. That's why when I was a kid, my mom always make me do the burning of the paper, the money. The money is always in a very, the money is always a very big volume. I don't know, always have endless zeros behind them. Then we had to burn the paper. Yeah, my mom always say that it's for the whole heng dai, right? To burn for the whole heng dai. That's why they protect you. Then I ask, so how about whole jimui, right? They always come back as male. There's no, the whole jimui don't come back one man. I said, my mom will tell me, 你做你就做啦，木木难躲. My mom is very hakka, right? Just curious, right? So we feed them to use, we have assembly we have a festival called a Waterland Assembly. So what is Waterland Assembly? I'll show you a photo of it. Oh yeah, we saw that the meaning of Ulambana, how they came about, right? There is story in a sutta. I think it's from Agama, right? So it's from Theravada or Maya tradition. We also had the same tradition of saying about it. Okay, I'm not going to ask you guys to read. I just do it a quick reading. It's on the 15th day of the 7th month, right? Middle of the 7th month. So when the assembled monks of the 10 directions released themselves, it means that they came out from, we call that the retreat, right? During the monsoon season in India. So at this time, for the sake of 7 generations of ancestors, your current parents and those in distress, you should gather food of the 100 flavors and 5 kinds of fruits, or a basin for washing and rinsing, incense, oil lamps, candles, mattresses, and bedding. So everything good things, right? If one's parents are living, they will have 100 years of joy and happiness. If they're deceased, then 7 generation ancestors will be reborn in the heavens. But this is according to a sutra, right? According to the Yulan Penjing, there's a sutra called Yulan Penjing. They describe how the Ulambana came about. You see, by the end of this time, there was when in India, or especially in the monastic, especially the Buddhists, from the Buddha's time, they enter the retreat, the raining season retreat for 3 months. They came out, right? Many of them have achieved certain level of dhyana, or they achieve certain level of enlightenment, depends on where they are. So the Buddha, everyone was very happy, especially the Buddha. So at this time, so according to the sutra, so if the lay person will make offering, to the monks, then you accumulate a lot of merits. This merit will help the ancestors and the family to gain a lot of good merits too, right? So this is one story of how the Ulambana came out. Of course, there's another story you're going to read about. It's about how one of the disciples of the Buddha, right? I think it's Ananda. Yeah, Ananda. So he, in the meditation, he saw that his mother was suffering, and he was not that is Moda. Yeah, that was another one. Yeah, another. So similar story, but mixed up. Anyway, so he asked the Buddha for help. He said, how do we help the people in the hell, in the ghost realm? Because they cannot eat. Everything they swallow become fire. They burn their throat right away. They are so suffering so much, intense. So the Buddha said, oh, at this time, you should do this offering, you should do this and do that. So it became like a tradition from then on. Every time after the 15th of the 7th month of July, when all the monks gather together, they use the merit from all the monks to offering this special food to those ghosts or hungry ghosts who cannot eat anything, right? So this become a tradition. So there are 2 or 3 different accounts about how the Ulambana came about, right? And this is how it looks like in Taiwan, one of the biggest events in the year, Ulambana. You see like thousands of people gathering. And so because this is the time where the hungry ghost return to earth and enjoy offerings. And in the Chinese, we had the Yulan Penjing and a sutra of offering bowls to repay kindness. So at the front, you have 5 different monastics. They are wearing this different, I don't know what they call it. They have a different, it's called, we call that what? Adorns. Yeah, to help them, to show to the hungry ghosts that we are the one who leading the ceremony, who is offering the food to all the hungry ghosts that were gathered there. So we'd like to go. During that night, they say all the ghosts will be there gathering, waiting for food to be thrown out.
So we actually have this ceremony here.
Yeah, okay.
Is it actually true that during that month the gates of hell is released? Is open?
So what do you think?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Okay. If not, then what's the point of doing that?
Is it just because that's the time when the merits are highest among the monks because they just came back from the The what, Vasa?
Yeah. Okay, what it says, right? The legend or the story about the gate open, all the hungry ghosts came out to the earth and go back and see family, the whole thing, every day, right? Everyone there. This is a Chinese belief. This is actually not in Buddhism. In Buddhism, we know that there's no distinction between, the six realms. Animals are living with us, ghosts are everywhere. You cannot see them because in today's world, we call different dimensions. But it's not like an exact location. Oh, this is hell. Where? In the North Pole. Right? We know that in the hell, we have the coldest hell and the hottest hell. Some people say that the hottest hell is in somewhere in Africa. The coldest one is in Arctic or Antarctica, right? I don't think it's true. There's no record found in Buddhism that talk about it. So we believe that different world, it depends on your mind, right? Depends on your karma. So when this life finish, time is up, it depending on your karma, you'll be reborn to a different one of the six. So if you're born there, then you're in your own world. So is it true that the gate open and the ghosts come back? This is a Chinese belief. Yeah, not really in Buddhism. But we do the offering because of the Ulaanbaatar Sutra. It says that at this time, if you do the offering, all the hungry ghosts in the surrounding area, in this area, they will get benefits. They will soften their suffering for a while. And also we will, because this is a kind of dana, we give to them. So this is the purpose of it. Okay? So if you tell me whether they do come, some people can see things. Oh, you know that? Can you see one? No? Anyone can see that? All right. I don't know. Okay, let's sidetrack a little bit, yeah. I know a friend who claimed that she can see this. There was one day we were in this ceremony, so I was one of the not the main five, but still a monastic in the front doing the chanting. There's a moment during almost the end of the ceremony where the five of those masters, they would throw away a lot of different, right, other rice, tea leaf, or sweets, yeah. That friend of mine, she was very funny. She said, "You know what, Shifu? I saw something." I was like, "What?" He said, I don't see anything. What was that? So she was making a kind of mysterious thing. Like, when they throw the thing on the floor, oh, they'll come and grab, or like, how do you know? I said, you don't know? Do you want to try? I said, how? I said, well, when that happened, if you're sitting on the ground, right? You're sitting on a chair, you look down across your legs to the back. Actually, you can see. You're like, no, I don't believe you. Okay, but I don't know, but I never try. But anyway, so if you have the Ulaanbaatar festival next time, okay, don't tell me I teach you this, right? It's according to my friend who claimed she can see and she taught me the way. I said, no, I don't know. I don't want to try. Fine, right? I believe by chanting sincerely, I can help many people, right? Many sentient beings. Okay, anyway, just a fun story. So it's a very important ceremony where actually we do a lot of offering to the Sangha, yeah, and also to the temple and also to the environment as well. So there are different ways of doing it. So this is one of the important festivals in Chinese Buddhism. All right. What else in Chinese Buddhism? Okay. I just maybe want not spend too much time for this. Okay, this is the last thing I want to talk about. Right? Have you heard about releasing life? Fong Sang. Okay. It's a good thing, right? It's giving life. Okay, someone got. Okay, it's a good thing. I think in Buddhism, doesn't matter which tradition you are from. I think at least we have participated in one of them. I did before. So nowadays, there are also some critics. What was the criticism? Have you heard anything they heard about? Yeah, commercialized. What's wrong with commercialize? Okay, I see some chat box. Oh, okay. Mass function. Yeah, mass, that means that large number of function. Okay, what I want to say about, okay, let's say you are a Buddhist. Well, of course you're Buddhist, right? I am non-Buddhist, right? I'm a non-believer, right? Let me ask you a question, right? You try to defend your Buddhist ritual tradition. Okay? So yeah, okay, now I'll ask. Oh, I see you guys, always come in a big group. Every Sunday morning, you go to the Pasar Borong, Pasar Borong, the main wet market. I don't know whether Singapore you have one, but here we have Pasar Borong in Selayang. You come in like a big group, maybe sometimes even a bus load of people. You go to the morning, you basically go to buy the fresh fish, you almost finish everything that you can find in Pasar Borong, and then you guys take away the fish and go to a river somewhere nearby and go to release life, you go to function. Why did you do that? Okay, why? I'm a Buddhist, you have to answer me. Why? You are the only group in the community who does this all the time. I see you guys arming every Sunday. Okay. Anyone? Why are we doing that? No reason. Okay, yeah. Just speak. We can hear you.
I think the obvious reason is that why people does it is because to save a life.
Save life, okay.
Yes.
So yeah, someone online say there's a first precept, that means no killing. All right. Save life. So someone say that function in the wrong place will cause harm to more lives. Do you agree? So yeah, you know that function can cause more life. So why are we still doing that? So is it right or wrong? My final question is, do you know you're doing the wrong thing? If I'm opposing it, right? Imagine I'm opposing it. What you guys are doing is wrong. So how do you try to justify, or how are you going to, as a Buddhist, or do you just agree? Yeah, they're all wrong. Of course, I don't do it. And anything? 要智慧放生, okay? People function, but the companies will just catch the same fish back and sell. This is one of the, yeah. I remember there was once I think it was in East Malaysia. There was one little kampong. I went there, and then I see many people go to the market. They always go in big group. They almost finish all the fish they can find, all the living one, still in the water one, not the one that dying on the table, the still swimming one. They bought everything, doesn't matter how much it costs, and then they have a whole lorry, and they go to one spot. So I went to see the spot. There's even a ramp already built for the lorry to can go as close to the river as possible. And then they step on the ramp and they started to pour all the fish into the river at the same time. Right? Gigantic. There was like huge thing to do. Everybody was happy, chanting, doing a lot of dharma, happy. And then, of course, after a while, I heard from the local people, some people told me that, Shifu, you know what? Of course, we know the ramp is there, right? Few kilometers, maybe a few 100 meters away, downstream, people are waiting. We have a net set up across the whole river. We know what time they're coming. Every Sunday morning, right? We set the net there. We don't have to work for a whole week, right? So that was a story I heard. So I'm not sure how are we Buddhists going to, talk about this and something to think about. Yeah. Some people say here online, some people say that 要智慧放生. Yeah, there are better ways to respect life. For example, not to litter, to be equal conscious, not to waste. But no, definitely, there's so many ways. Okay, but as a Buddhist, what I want to point out is, of course, we know there's some problem with reducing life, right? Function. Of course, there are so good and bad. So, as a Buddhist, how are we going to judge? Based on what? Of course, if you're okay, the mic is there.
to me, releasing life is good, is correct.
Mm.
You do it correctly. Of course, you do it wrongly, then it's wrong.
Mm. Okay, what is
If
correct?
you-
What is wrong?
You have to
my
make
question.
sure the consequence of what you are doing.
Yeah.
Like for instance, in Bangkok, Dhammakaya,
Yeah.
we went and released cow.
Yeah.
So the cow was bought from the abattoir, supposed to be slaughtered already.
Yeah.
So, and then when they brought the cow to the temple,
Mm.
and then the monk was chanting, and they put flower garland, and we could see that the 3 cow on the lorry was shedding tears.
Mm. Mm.
Then after the ceremony, the cow was given back to the temple, and then the temple will lease it out to the farmer.
Mm.
And the farmer will use the cow until they are not capable.
Mm.
Then the farmer will take the cow back to the temple.
Mm.
Then the temple will look after the cow until they die.
Wow, that's a good way to do it. Yeah. But so you need not just the people who live, like you need a few different community actually to help to maintain like the whole chain of events, right? It's not only the one who pay the money to do and function and let go and forget about it. It's a continuous
Yes.
activity.
Same thing, releasing birds and
Oh.
fishes.
Yeah.
You don't win like what you say, one lorry load of fish, you bound to attract people to go and catch.
Yes.
So if you want to fong some fish, you just buy yourself, quietly you go and release to the river. You don't go and get a lorry load.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, exactly what you say is very true. Yeah, we don't know how the ecosystem works. You don't want to also introduce some new species into a river that has already, like original species still kill each other. They cannot accommodate. So this is also something that we didn't knowledge. Okay, so what exactly is the moral line that a Buddhist should have? How should a Buddhist, see these things? Of course, talk about releasing life. We are based on, our fundamentals. Our fundamental is like all life are equal, right? This is the very basic fundamental teaching of Buddhism. All life are equal. So we shouldn't harm other life. So we expand the idea of not harming. So we release the life. So this is the way they justify our action, right? We try to help those who are being killed, almost being killed, return them back to their nature habitat, return back, give them another chance to survive, to continue their life, right? So all beings are equal. This is the basic Buddhist idea. Fine, okay, it's fine. What else? Compassion. Yeah? Basically, because our compassion, we do these acts. So as a Buddhist, how do we defend the act of releasing life? This is based on our teaching of compassion, right? Up to you, it's still fine. So, but more than that, right? When we talk about, someone said about first precept, not killing. So we also know that the idea of not killing, not only referring to not killing, right? Not killing is a passive way. What is the active way of doing it? Active and passive, right? Not killing is a passive way, but the positive way is what? Protect. Protecting is much more important than not just killing. Not killing means that don't do anything. I'm not killing, right? I see the fish dying there. Oh, I'm not doing anything. It just died by itself. It's natural. But protecting life means that it's much more thing to, as you just mentioned. If you want to help the cow, you don't just buy from the farmer and release them back to the wild, right? Next day they're all gone. Don't know where they are, and they're almost certain die somewhere, right? You need to take care. You need to have a lot of action that follow. So that is what we call protecting life. So protecting is more like a long-term project. It's not a one-shot. The problem nowadays is many Buddhists, they follow a very famous master. I know that a few years ago, not more than 10 years ago, there was a very famous monk from Taiwan who really wanted to do a lot of, everywhere he come to Malaysia, he will release the chicken he bought from the farm. He went to Africa, he bought the camels, he bought the snake, the poisonous snake, and he released everywhere. Caused a lot of chaos. It's true, right? There was they were decades ago. So that is what, is it releasing or protecting life? Which one is more important? Yeah, something we think about. Of course, you can understand, as you said, we have to use wisdom to understand the principle of coexistence, how we coexist with these animals. Instead of take out your money, and buy the fish and go to a river to release them, why don't we do something that everyone can do? Okay, at least I can do today. Stop eating fish for 1 day. Then one less fish is killed, right? Or stop eating fish for 10 days or 1 week. I make a vow now, stop eating fish or stop eating meat for 1 week. You can save how many lives? So that's protecting, right? So instead of just reducing life, there are so many other things we can do using the Buddhist principle, the no killing, right? All beings are equal, compassion. There's so many other ways. So that's why nowadays in contemporary society, we Buddhists, we do a lot of things that we think are helping the environment, but think about what is the best way. Even using less plastic, I think help much more than you go and buy a fish and leave them in the pond. Right? If you go to a famous temple in Ipoh, it's called Sanpo Dong. Have you been there? You see the pond? What do you see in the pond? Tortoise. Do you think they were there originally? No, right? You know the number are I don't know how many are they? Almost like it's so crowded now. Why? The pond is gone, smaller. Yeah, I don't know what they do to the tortoise, but they were released by people for the public. What happened to them? I don't know. Right. So are we actually helping them? So vegetarianism maybe is better way to do the reducing. So there are many things, there are many rituals, and there are many things that we do as a Buddhist. Sometimes we follow the ritual, but it's time to think twice about, as a Buddhist, how do we analyze what we do with more wisdom according to the fundamental teaching of Buddhism, by not just following blindly what is called tradition. Oh, we do it for years. Everybody do that. Even the temple do that. It's definitely fine. We think about what is more, using the most basic fundamental Buddhist teaching to judge for ourselves. So the same thing, in modern society, there's so many contemporary issues that we need to think about. For example, same-sex marriage. I just read from the news yesterday that Thailand is the second country in Asia, or the third country in Asia, to actually legalize same-sex marriage. First one was Taiwan, now the Thailand. So who knows what's it going to change? So as a Buddhist, if we are asked the same question, so what Buddhists think about same-sex marriage, LGBTQ? I don't know. But we need to have a stand. Right? Even though we don't have a stand, but we need to think what kind of Buddhist teaching we can use from the Buddha to answer questions like this. Okay, more importantly, more serious, like abortion. There are two groups in America. One is against, one is a pro-baby, one is pro-mother. So how about Buddhists? Who do we pro? Pro-life or pro-freedom of female, of woman? Both are so life, both are equal. So these are very complicated questions that we must face nowadays as Buddhists. But most of the time what we see in the news is when they have like dialogue, between groups, we usually don't see Buddhists. Right? We see different religions have a dialogue, have talks and discuss serious questions like this, but usually Buddhists are very reluctant to go. And no, we are higher than that. Now we aim for higher goal, we aim for enlightenment, we are out of this world. These are all illusions, right? We're almost empty. That's a problem, yeah? So why I want to raise this question is, as a Buddhist, how do we see these world problems? Overpopulation, like gun control, of course we don't have that in Malaysia, right? What are we going to do as a Buddhist? Yeah, something that, it doesn't matter we are from Theravada tradition, Vajrayana or Mahayana. Especially if you are from Mahayana, we have something called engaged Buddhism. Engage means that you engage with society. We think about the problem in a society. We step in and not stepping in, but we use our understanding of Buddhism to try to and think about what the Buddha will do if he was born in this era. How would the Buddha teach non-violence to all the problems they're facing now? This is our challenge. So by learning Mahayana Buddhism, I would hope to bring this to a conclusion, from how Mahayana began. Early, like we talk about Mahayana Buddhism history, the core teachings, how are they different from Theravada Buddhism, and we talk about how the scripture was translated. Yeah, we talk a bit about Heart Sutra, Diamond Sutra, and we talk about the main school in Madhyamaka, Yogacara, Hien Tai Hua Yuan Chan, and today Pure Land. Right? And today we talk about Buddhist practices, and also how are we going to face contemporary problems? As a Buddhist, we have the responsibility. We don't have to stand out, and go to go for a strike with anyone else. It doesn't have to, but at least we have an answer, or at least we have something that we can follow. Do we agree with same-sex marriage, or do we not? Based on what? Based on what in Buddhism? Dig it out, think about it. Find something that we believe and make it our value. So this will help us become a better person. Yeah. And of course, better Buddhist.